Good morning. Thank you again for joining us this week to celebrate National Apprenticeship Week. We hope that you thoroughly enjoyed the speakers, the panelists. Thank you again for joining us this week to celebrate National Apprenticeship Week. We hope that you thoroughly enjoyed the speakers, the panelists. Thank you again for joining us this week to celebrate National Apprenticeship Week. We're having technical difficulties. Good morning, second time's the charm. Talk about tag teaming and double teaming, that was me. Well, good morning again, and I just wanted to say thank you for joining us this whole week for National Apprenticeship Week. We sincerely hope that you've enjoyed the speakers, the panelists, and just the amazing inspirational stories and information that we've shared through this week. Today happens to be my favorite day. It is our celebration day, as you'll see later on. But before then, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Megan Baird, Deputy Administrator of the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration within the Office of Apprenticeship. Megan is a staunch supporter of all things apprenticeship, and we are delighted to have Megan on board to speak and just share some of the ideas and thoughts that are going on within the Biden-Harris administration and some of the focus areas that the administration is focusing in over the next few years. Megan.
Thanks, Claire. Hi, everybody, and happy National Apprenticeship Week. We're excited to join you, especially on your celebration day. And I wanted to talk a little bit about registered apprenticeship and specifically, as Claire mentioned, the Biden-Harris administration's vision and goals, particularly around increasing diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in registered apprenticeship. And for those of you attending today, I'm sure you are aware and fans of registered apprenticeship, and that it is a reliable pathway to the middle class, and apprenticeships train workers for good jobs and allow them to earn while they learn, and also provide workers with the type of specialized training needed for the jobs of today and the jobs for tomorrow. And during National Apprenticeship Week, I've jokingly been calling it our apprenticeship prom, but it does feel a little bit like that. We highlight how this quality industry and worker-driven training model provides a critical talent pipeline and a means to strengthen our workforce and address our nation's pressing challenges. So from building our country's infrastructure to protecting against cybersecurity threats and to also making sure that every American has a good and well-paying and safe job. And as we build our economy back better and continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen the especially important role that apprenticeship plays in providing training to workers who are looking to re-enter the workforce, as well as young people who are seeking to enter the workforce. And also, as we progress towards economic recovery, we must expand opportunities in our workforce that embrace individuals who have been historically underserved, marginalized, and adversely affected by persistent poverty and inequality. And during National Apprenticeship Week, we are also committing to ensuring that these underserved populations have an opportunity to participate in the workforce. And further, given the underrepresentation of women in apprenticeship, which has been historic, and the impact of the pandemic on women's labor force participation, there is an even greater urgency to support women's participation in registered apprenticeship. In fact, we are recognizing November 18th as National Women in Apprenticeship Day, which is today. And we're doing this in order to promote the advancement of women in registered apprenticeship. There's lots of events going on, focus on women today, as well as other related diversity and inclusion efforts. Encourage you to attend those if you've not already signed up to join some on apprenticeship.gov. So I'm excited to be able to join you today to talk briefly about the Biden-Harris administration, as well as how the Department of Labor and the Office of Apprenticeship are working together towards leading efforts to increase diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in apprenticeship. And for some of you, that A at the end of DEIA, which is how I'll refer to it, may be new to you. You might be used to just hearing DEI, and I want to talk a little bit about what we mean in the administration when we talk about DEIA. And there's a great party metaphor that we've been using to really show what those elements mean and how they all fit together. It's a party metaphor which is very timely for the holidays. So D, diversity, it's making sure that everyone is invited to the party. And when we talk about E, equity, it's making sure that everybody has the support they need to come to the party. The I for inclusion is making sure that everybody feels welcome to mix and mingle at the party. And then the A stands for accessibility, and that is giving everyone the tools and resources that they need to participate fully in the party. And how do we support DEIA? As an inclusive and diverse workforce that will fortify our economic recovery requires jobs that pay American workers a fair wage. There are jobs that provide financial security by helping workers save for retirement and also ensuring there are reliable supports in place to help them through hard times. And if you've not already heard it, equity is at the heart of the administration's efforts. And the administration is aiming to build a new American economy. And this is an economy that invests in the promise and potential of every single American. It's an economy that leaves no one out and no one behind. And it's an economy that makes it easier for families to break into the middle class and stay in the middle class. And in support of this, on the first day of his administration, President Biden did sign an executive order on advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. And this executive order, among many other things, there were some subsequent related executive orders as well, that they direct the agencies to promote equitable delivery of benefits and opportunities across federal programs and services. So that is the charge that was given to all federal agencies that we are now carrying out through all of our work, including our investments and our partnerships. And we are committed to a historic focus on equity, job quality, and doubling down on proven workforce models that deliver results in support of this goal. And registered apprenticeship is critical to all three of those activities. I'm also sure that you guys have heard about the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better agenda. These will both help create millions of good paying jobs and ensure there are training resources in communities to ensure that underrepresented populations can access these good jobs. And registered apprenticeship is a core strategy to make that happen. But it's also important to note that we must confront the equity challenges within registered apprenticeship, opening up opportunities to those that for too long are underrepresented, and also address occupation segregation. And beyond that, there are systemic inequalities in our labor markets and in our education systems that registered apprenticeship can help disrupt if designed properly, but it has to be intentional. We have to build a system that reaches more workers in diverse industry sectors. And registered apprenticeship has a long tradition in key industries, but right now we really have a unique moment of experimentation into new industries for registered apprenticeship. And to drive these changes of growth and equity, the Department of Labor is investing in workforce development focused on quality jobs in critical industries, providing services to individuals from historically marginalized communities, and expanding industry partnerships. And to jumpstart this work, we have launched a couple of investments and technical assistance efforts. So you might have seen some of them. It started off with this past June, we've invested nearly $31 million to launch 4 registered apprenticeship technical assistance centers of excellence. And these centers of excellence are tasked with providing technical assistance to employers and industry leaders to help them develop model registered apprenticeship programs and also work across public and private sector partners to expand and diversify registered apprenticeship opportunities. In fact, one of the centers is solely focused on providing technical assistance to employers and other apprenticeship stakeholders around DEIA efforts. We have also awarded more than $99 million to bolster states' efforts to expand registered apprenticeship for underserved communities. And this is important because states are sometimes the registration agencies, but really it's investing in the infrastructure to ensure that we have a structure in place to support the rapid growth of registered apprenticeship programs across any industry. And we've also established or reestablished the Advisory Committee on Apprenticeship. And the goal is to explore apprenticeship priorities in the upcoming year, including DE&IA in registered apprenticeship, the expansion of apprenticeships into new industries and sectors, the modernization of the system, and diversification of apprenticeship pathways, so pre-apprenticeship, youth apprenticeship, and degree apprenticeship programs. And this established apprenticeship Advisory Committee on Apprenticeship is comprised of a broad cross-section of stakeholders from across the country, representing labor management organizations, employers, community colleges, and other institutions. And I encourage you, if you'd like to learn more about this committee, we do host public meetings, and everything is posted on apprenticeship.gov. Just type in Advisory Committee on Apprenticeship or ACA, and it'll take you to the right place. And another focus for the department is supporting expansion of registered apprenticeship into new industries. So we are investing in the continued growth of apprenticeship focus on industries, particularly right now in the care economy. And the care economy is healthcare, early childhood education, types of occupations that support those efforts. And we have recently launched a new funding opportunity to add additional industry intermediaries. And this includes expanding to the supply chain industries, again, the care economy. And for those of you that are familiar with our industry intermediaries, of which net.America is one, they are really helping the department to rapidly expand registered apprenticeship opportunities and providing technical assistance to employers and key stakeholders. So we're hoping to grow that pool of apprenticeship intermediaries by industry even more. We are also planning this year to support public and private partnerships in the registered apprenticeship system. So definitely more to come on that, but using our appropriated funding from Congress to really feed the expansion, modernization, and diversification of registered apprenticeship as it aligns with the administration goals. And how do you access or benefit from all of these activities and investments? Again, I encourage you to visit apprenticeship.gov as a resource. It's a one-stop shop for all things apprenticeship. There are great tools on there. There's a really great resource called a partner finder that you can search by industry, by occupation, by location. If you're looking for somebody to partner with in registered apprenticeship, a training provider, if you're looking for the registration point of contact, if you're looking for our industry intermediaries, if you go to the partner finder, you can find those contacts to really help you as you're establishing and expanding registered apprenticeship programs. It's also a resource for apprentices to go and find apprenticeship opportunities to apply for. And it's also a resource for educators to go as well who are interested in possibly being a training provider of registered apprenticeship. So definitely a great resource for you. And if you've not checked it out, my hope is that you do that today. You spend some time on apprenticeship.gov. And just to wrap it up, we have a lot of work to do. And right now, we really have a historic opportunity to continue to build an equitable registered apprenticeship system and a stronger economy. We have the support of the Biden-Harris administration, not just in our goals and activities, but also in our investments, and are really looking forward to the opportunity and the role that you all will play as a critical partner in the expansion of this system, particularly around diversification of industry and diversification of apprentices. So excited to see where this goes and happy to turn it back over to Claire now.
Thank you, Megan. That was very helpful. Lots of good information there. I think we're all excited to continue this journey and partner with the Department of Labor to expand registered apprenticeship programs in any way and fashion that we can support. It's thrilling work and definitely something that is sorely needed and as you so aptly put, is desperately needed in marginalized populations. And, the whole diversity, equity, inclusion, and access approach is so overdue. But I'm so delighted that we are finally here and that we're having all these conversations about it, and definitely excited to be a part of the journey. Thank you.